All right, welcome to Yeshua's King Ministries. This is number 61, the 61st sermon that we've done so far. And have some, in my opinion, it's pretty important information that you're going to need to know. It is also not verified, but it's an accumulation of a bunch of things that were brought up this week in our uh, YouTube scanning, and it simply made sense when I finally realized what this these data centers were all about. I they're they're illegal. Everybody knows that, but yet they're doing it anyways. And I don't know if anybody knows this or been watching this, but Trump's been acting very weird. I mean, extremely odd since just a little while ago when he started turning, and all of a sudden just turned, and then one of the senators, I think today, even said, "Why did everybody go? Why did they go into Iran? It's because the Israelis made us." So I'm thinking, okay, they must have blackmail stuff on all of them, and so they just, yeah, you can't make somebody do something unless you have blackmail on you. Somebody's blackmailing you, and if if that was the case, in the interest of what do you call it, preserving your own country, I mean, that would be something that a politician could do. I'd declare war on them next time. If they started that, say, okay, that's all right. We're going to start wiping you out because you're using our weapons. So, and I have a real good feeling that probably 15 to 20 countries would join in on them if they're blackmailing everybody in Washington. And number two, stop doing things that you can be blackmailed for, dummies. So, uh, anyway, we started looking at the United Nations. There was a lady. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, she's a whistleblower, and it's the Emma Riley interview. Is she's I just put in the terms ALI Tabrizi, Ali Tabrizi, United Nations lawyer, and it comes up. Um, and so it's about a year ago. I didn't see it until a couple of days ago. But she started talking about the United Nations and how bad it is. I mean, it's really bad as far as human rights lawyers. If anybody speaks up, they end up getting fired, which she did. And they have been firing anybody else that says anything about anything when it comes to them. And that is because guess who runs the United Nations now? Anybody care to guess? That would be the Chinese. They took over because they pay the most in dues to the private club, and that's it for them. They pretty much run the whole shindig. And the United Nations workers, they do. There's a lot of child trafficking. There's a lot of child molestation. There's a lot of what else can you think of? Rape and murders and
Organizations founded in genocide.
yeah, they do a lot of genocide. They
We kind of put it together that it's like they're fulfilling the Nordic Guidestones.
yeah,
Like they are the ones who implement it because wherever they go, there's a genocide. They actually do the opposite of human rights. It was she gave a little brief history that it, and I know you in your studies um, you understood this, but they were birthed from the League of Nations. It was like an amplified League of Nations. The League of Nations failed, and then after World War II, the UN was born. But it was um, it was to stop human rights violations, but it actually does the opposite. It promotes and encourages human rights violations.
which is why they have an outpost on Mount Herman. I don't know if anybody knows that. Um, they have a Mount Herman outpost, and if you say Mount Herman, that is where the fallen angels fell on Earth, and they know that. So I believe that they were spawned from the devil himself. You know, had had a it's one of the devil's children, the United Nations. Um, she went into all the politics, and all that stuff. However, uh, this is going to get to us here in just a few minutes because Trump has been going to China, or he goes to China, or he sends somebody to China. And here's the issue with presidents. When presidents go to other countries, they usually, when they go to a dictatorship, they start seeing all the power that a dictatorship has. There's a reason why Trump likes the North Koreans, and there's a reason why he likes China. It's because these guys wield power that they've never seen. It's power of life and death, and they can't stand it here because they have to they have to vote, they have to share power and all that stuff. Well, Trump don't like that. That's why he's talking about doing another run for president. But I don't think it's going to be a vote. I think he's just going to grab it. There's a reason why that is, and it has to do with the data centers. But so if you're looking at this whole thing, you start watching how the Chinese react to things and how they do things. They have a lot of uh, we would call them detention centers, but over there, concentration camps.
Because they're placing them for not complying with a certain mindset. So they gave an example because I think the guy who's interviewing is Muslim.
Yeah.
Is that if you have any signs, like they'll be monitoring your internet activity, and if you're showing signs of not eating pork, celebrating certain holidays, they will arrest you and put you in these camps, and they're labor camps. They're producing all the goods for the global economy, and this is how China's getting rich. Um, but there's a lot of activists and their families that are fighting for their family members to be free when all they did was have a belief in something. They didn't believe in the
Christians,
mainstream.
they'll do it.
Yeah,
Christians, yeah, big time.
I don't even know their religion that they promote, but if it's Christianity, Islam, I didn't hear a thing about Judaism. Um, but yeah, any of those, they even are doing this in Tibet, the whole like free Tibet movement. They're
Yeah.
the most like enslaved people in that area. Their population is almost zero. So they're breeding a certain type of human. And Trent was talking about this in one of our last temple meetups about the hive mind. They want the hive mind cattle. They don't want free thinkers or ones that will go outside of the mainstream. And Trump, I think, is like salivating over this.
It's funny because I saw that. I saw an article this morning about that. It was 70% of the people are soulless. They mentioned it, and they go, they're the ones that won't question anything. They'll follow. They'll do this and that. And then they have about 30% of the people that think, that ask questions, search for truth, and all this stuff. And apparently, those are the troublemakers. Uh-oh, I guess I'm a troublemaker. But anyway, so that's what I noticed about them. But here's the thing about what China doesn't want anybody to know, is they have a lot of child trafficking, which we all know that the United States itself is probably the child trafficking capital of the world. And
More so on the import end.
yeah, on the import, yeah, part, and on and I think they want to get into exports so they can pay off their debts or whatever they do with other people. And
She was bringing up organ harvesting.
organ
They
harvesting
would chop off the hair of imprisoned persons.
people.
Yeah, they would chop off their hair and sell it to the global market. The organs, everything. There's a genocide going on in China, and it's covered up. If anyone says anything, which this woman did, she brought it up to her boss in the UN, and she's on like the lower totem pole. And basically, she was said, "Oh, you can use this as money to get a raise. That I have information, and so you better promote."
Right.
And that's how they operate.
The whole blackmail. It's all
It's,
blackmail.
it's a giant blackmail organization, and
So no, let me explain just to real clear on that. They find human rights violations in China. She says, I'm going to publish this. She said, you can do this. This is a lot of people do this. I can publish this if you don't give me a raise. And they'll give her a raise and do all kinds of things. They fold to it every time because they know that's how the United Nations works. So just everybody knows that.
And she's saying most people take this, which I didn't know, you probably knew, but the UN officials have diplomatic immunity globally. They don't have to pay taxes. They get free schooling for their children.
Anywhere in the world.
She wouldn't mention what the pay was, but it's top tier. You get, free flights, places, and work is discouraged. Like the ultimate goal is you don't do anything. She literally said this. She's like, well, there's a lot wrong here. And that was one of them is, avoiding exposing human rights.
The less you do,
The better.
the more money you make. Basically, if you kind of get up in the morning, you could call in. I'm feeling I'm feeling a little bad today.
Okay, and now we have Trump on a board of peace.
Of peace.
That's part of the UN. What's going on here? And then all of a sudden we have a genocide in Palestine in parallel with one in China. Who knows where else?
During Trump's regime, by the way.
Regime. I like that.
Yeah, it's not a government anymore. It's a regime. He's there. In other words, if you're a politician and you go into office and then you just break every promise you ever made, you turn the government into a regime because you, particularly, were not voted in office. So, on a legal standpoint, Trump was not voted in office in any way, shape, or form. Whoever this Trump is a completely different guy. So, since that's the case, sorry, buddy, you weren't voted. Nobody voted for you. Nobody voted for this Trump. So,
yeah, and if you're funding a genocide, you are part of that genocide.
yeah.
Why are funds still going to Israel?
Exactly. So that's what happened. It's the way they operate. So, and whatever, and I know they have a lot of pedo stuff on him, which I think the honorable thing for him to do will be to resign. Just get out because you're compromised, and that's what the CIA even talks about. You've been compromised. And when you've got generals speaking out against you, that's I think they're kind of getting ready for a hit. But that's just my personal opinion. I don't hold anything to that.
Going back to the data centers.
The data centers. Well, this is not really good news. The data centers in America are actually way more than what China has. Not not that we're measuring here. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about.
They do it, but we'll do it better.
Better and bigger, and all that stuff. So what I'm saying here is this. Um, I think they're getting ready to do organ harvesting, which they're already doing in America, but they're doing it through surveillance. I think that's what these are for. So they're surveilling everybody so they can keep track of who's who, where you are, and everything else. And that is the perfect military stance to be in against your enemy. And whether anybody knows it or not, this particular Trump that was never voted in was the enemy of America because he's doing everything exactly opposite of what he said he would do. And that opposite is what the Democrats are doing, which is they've become enemies
There's no wall.
Of the people.
There's no wall. Gas
Yeah.
prices are not cheaper. Food prices are not cheaper. The cost of living is not cheaper.
Yeah.
There's still illegal immigrants everywhere. The cities are crumbling. And all we're seeing is these data centers pop up left and right.
All the money is going towards them.
Yeah. People are not able to get water in places. Electricity is skyrocketing because it's being diverted over to these data centers. There's something really, really sinister here. And it's like right around the corner.
And you can't, okay, it's illegal. We even went through this. It's illegal to transfer somebody else's bill to you to get you to pay it. Can't do that. So you can't say all of a sudden my electricity is more expensive. No, you're paying for somebody else's bill, and that's the data center's bill, because the data centers show up, the bill went up. Simple as that. And some people are just they're being crushed. Well, that's not somebody who cares about you. That's not somebody who is taking care of you. That's not and taking care of his own country. He has turned on his own country through him, and I think many others have too. He's joined the globalists. Let's put it that way. So I wouldn't trust the next, and I'm just serious. I'm not a Democrat, folks. I don't really even adhere to a political stance. I'm a preacher, officially a priest, and I don't care who's there. What I'm doing is warning you as to what's happening, because they're covering it with socialism, they're covering it with communism, and they're going to blame communism when they do that, or to get if we can get people to vote for communism, well, they can get people the whole country to vote for communism. They control the ballots.
Oh, all they have to do is make people hungry enough that they'll be like, yes, please, just give me that monthly check and food.
Take care of me that way. Well, and even if it's my bills are $400 and my monthly check is $3, you'll take it if you're starving to death. So this food shortage orchestrated, completely orchestrated by man.
Oh, there was someone put together a pretty cool video on that. Is when it talks about the starvation and Revelation, that it doesn't mean that the food is gone, that the stores are empty. It means you're not able to buy it.
Yeah.
Meaning you don't have the money, number one,
Or
or two, you don't have the mark.
yeah,
You're not bowing down with these.
right. I think that's a manipulation too. I think the whole Revelations they're manipulating that. At least that's what was his name? Um, Cooper, Bill Cooper. He said that they're manipulating everybody on a grand scale. He says this not Revelations is not through. It's not here yet.
Yeah.
None of it's here, but man's getting. They're able to do it, or simulate. But anyway, that's just a side note. So, what I'm thinking here, folks, is I'd say, Yeshua said, I'm sending you out as sheep among wolves. And he gave them swords, told them to buy swords. And so I would get your guns ready, because these data centers are not good at all. They're there to, the people that are fighting to get rid of the flock and everything else, I think 80 counties canceled their contracts, which I think 3,000 should. Probably a good idea. Folks, we never got rid of our guns. That's why I think it was Koreans said, you don't ever invade America because there'll be a gun behind every blade of grass. They will never be safe, and they know that. Um, and I'm not saying, hey, everybody was a revolution. I'm saying get ready because I think they're stupid enough to try to come after this country, and it's going to be the people themselves are going to be the ones that that defend it. Don't rely on one politician. Every one of them are cowards.
Trust the cops.
Don't trust cops.
Where's
None of them, because they're for that system.
anyone a part of any big corporation? Enemy.
Yeah,
They've all submitted to this new system because they benefit from it.
it's blown them away that what people will do for money. I'm very blown away about that. But I'm talking about your average, normal people, folks trying to just, guys trying to get uh, uh, trying to get a job, trying to just pay the bills and take care of his family. You know what I mean? And I can see that happening.
We have like an upbeat note is we have noticed Yeshua does provide for us in ways outside of the system. So like we've seen an increase added media on it. An increase in uh what is that? Support in ways that we don't need to go into the system financially. We don't have to go to the stores as much. It's very odd and I don't know how to depict it, but um what I'm saying is that if you put all your trust and faith and belief in him, he will take care of you through this. Not everyone needs to starve. The Father, we've noticed in Scripture, is that this is used to wake people up, starvation, and but He provides manna for His people. So become one of His people, follow Him, and whatever is unrolling from these wicked ones isn't gonna apply to you. It has nothing to do with you.
I honestly believe that he's cleaning this country up. That's what I think is happening.
You said that famine is like it's like a culling of the unproductive.
Yeah, productive. Yeah. In other words, if you're going to sit there and watch TV all day, smoke cigarettes, and you're not going to eat, you will be the ones that starve out. It's the producers that will make it.
And there's a lot on the Great Depression, and this is emphasized often is the ones that are growing food and are not in debt to the bankers are the ones that actually got through that time.
The 33.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
And
crash.
I'm sure it was actually their belief in Yeshua and the Father, but they're not going to say that.
Yeah, they're not going to put that in there. But yeah, I can see that too.
So get off your butts. It's not all up to Yeshua and the Father. You gotta put a leg in
Yeah,
it.
do something. Ain't going to carry you.
Like it goes back to salvation. Like here's a free gift. Well, you have to walk over there to grab it, to accept it.
Yeah.
There's an actual walking that takes place, and people are like, "Oh, I'm just gonna lay here and absorb my free gift." No, not what happens. So they're gonna feed you, um, unless it's in your future to go through some hardship through starving for whatever reason. There's a lot of disciples that suffered, but um, if they're gonna feed you, you have to respond to the hints. Like, hey, go over here. Okay, I'm gonna go over there.
Yeah, they
It's not gonna be in the way of the desert where manna's gonna fall from the sky. You gotta go back and forth with it.
the only reason that was is because they had no other way of
Yeah.
getting food. And so our Father in heaven said, "Okay, I'm gonna make sure that you rely on me. We get this relationship going, that you have to start trusting him." And away you go. So that's all been given to his son now. And the same thing is being implemented. You have to trust. You have to trust them. And they're not gonna let you down.
There's some dark times coming.
Yeah.
really dark times. And I mean, we're looking at rolling blackouts, electricity cut off completely, so expensive no one can afford it. Um, what do you do with your food if the power goes out? You know, you got to think about all these things.
There's over 3,000 governments that people have been paying taxes to for years. They have money set back, and the CAPR accounts, which was I was told when I was in Shelby County. I was told this, and that they have the let's put it this way. Um, the Masons have been stocking up the coffers, their coffers, called coffer accounts.
Morons.
No, well, part of them, yeah. Yeah,
I heard they have one of the largest next to the Catholic Church of food bank distribution.
yeah. They have a take care of, there's a cost for it, because you don't have to rely on Yeshua, you rely on the Masons, but yeah, who are devil worshippers in the first place. So, folks, this is just a fair warning here. I can see everything that China does, how much they hide, and everything else, and we know how they deal with their dissidents. If you don't know what a dissident is, it's a dissident that is somebody who does not agree with the Communist Party. Right, and okay, you had North America. Think about this for a minute. They make it illegal to have a Bible in Canada, and then there's this whole fight, and all of a sudden, Canada joins China. They've gone full communist. Communism and Islam are pretty much the same. It's the same thing. So there's no coincidence that Canada went with China and cut off all this. And what they're doing is they're cutting off all these deals uh, that uh, that the trader made to make it appear as if it doesn't have any money, it's losing, it's dying, and everything else. Well, that would get you to join the Communist Party, wouldn't it? Oh, well, communism is the way to go. Yeah, so go ahead and cut out the Father and Yeshua, which is what they're trying to get you to do, so they can get away with their crimes. It's just that simple. If you turn your face away from them, you take away the what's it called, the revenge that the Father has to you call it. It's hard to explain this. Yeah, yeah, to implement there because there's no victim, and because you cut them out, you have no voice, you have no say, you have no nothing. That's the whole thing. You get rid of your speech, you get rid of everything if you turn your face against the Father and against Yeshua, our Father, and that's just crazy. And this is why the unbelievers do not like believers because the believers have standing. They have a say. They're witnesses to whatever crime that they're seeing and that they're actually witnessing. So that's the point. So don't turn away from our Father in heaven and Yeshua and the set apart Spirit. Don't turn away from them. They're your only help. They're the only ones that care about you, and their standing, which is the best that ever was, uh, will see right rulings. Let's put it that way. So it may look a little grim. It may look like you've got a traitor in office. He turned against everyone the first day because the first day he started bringing in data centers. He already knew that there were 5,300 data centers. He already knew that, and now he's putting up more and more and more. Well, nobody does that unless they want to know where you are, what you're doing, and this isn't about keeping your emails and keeping pictures of Fluffy. Okay, that's not what it's about. and they want surveillance, and they're getting a lot of pushback, and they're messing with people with guns. Not good. So I would highly suggest that that they back off this, meaning the guys implementing this. You've been found out. That's it. Everybody knows what you're doing. What you're doing is you're trying to make it to where you can start selling organs because there's big money in it. Okay, and you've been doing it to the Gaza. That's all it was, is selling organs. You just wanted the organs from the kids and the adults, so you could live longer and you can make a lot of money doing it. You wanted to make those children disappear. Now, when they disappeared, they ended up in somebody's home in Washington, D.C. for sex parties or whatever else you guys were doing. None of this is hidden. Everybody sees it, and uh, it's there.
In Satanism, in the occult, they have to have a certain number of murders per hour in the devil's world. Those two kids that there's a testimony of their time in this daycare.
That was in England, right?
Yeah, and it was in the churches. Um, they were raised up there, and they would kill babies for lunch. And it's part of um, they get power from the devil with killing. So when you have a whole like Gaza, they're getting empowered by the devil.
That was a lot of
this,
equity,
in
yeah,
this world.
in this world, yeah.
It's for a short time. It's not any standing. But that's why the Jews have so much power, is because of all their rituals, sacrifices, human sacrifices.
Huh.
Why did they kill babies? Why did women kill their newborns to and
Yes.
for fertility, health, wealth,
Power.
power, and they did it willingly. They do it on a global scale now through freaking, you
It's
go
weird
and
to watch.
bomb an area full of people, you just, you did,
That's a lot of sacrifices.
yeah, it's a lot of sacrifice.
Interesting how they do things.
Spiritual war.
Yeah. All right, folks. So just remember, data centers equals organ harvesting. That's pretty much it. Um, and that's where they're headed. So, anyways, if I don't know if anybody knows this, but we have a subscriber group on the Genoa Institute and on Telegram, and you can join that group. And I what we do is I put lessons every week on them. We have classes and things like that, and then you have a makeshift lawyer service where like it's like having somebody on standby all the time for any issues that you might have. And it's the subscription is $20 a month, and you any time of day that you have any kind of legal questions or anything of that nature, it's a private membership association, so we can give legal advice. So just to let you know that we have that service, and the Genoa Institute still sells trust and PMAs. And we also have for real, products that we can send in the mail would be from Allegheny. It's AlleghenyTradingPost.com. And if you would like to give us a donation or anything, it's not tax deductible as far as they're concerned. And that would be Yeshua is King Ministries.com. You can go there and support us. And then I think that's it. So just to let you know, if you like more information like this that comes towards you, and it doesn't do this all the time. A lot of times it'll take like 2 weeks, and I'll look for hints and things that come to me and watch to be able to report and let people know that we still have uh, the narrow way teachings. We can teach you about the narrow way. I'm getting ready to do that on the subscriber group with the it's a book that I read. I'll read like a chapter a week, and you can listen to it for a week and get more and more educated on deceptions and things like that that you may encounter on the narrow way. So, uh, if you'd like to do all that, we'll just go to the websites and make it happen. So, thanks for listening to Yeshua's King Ministries. I hope this was educational for you, and we will see you next week.